Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hello. How are y'all doing? Alhex, hello, One Drunk Man. Tornado, I'm so sorry to hear, man. I'm glad to hear that there's no injuries and that hopefully the damage isn't too bad. But anyway, welcome everybody. Juran, hello. Crazy Derp Turtle, Quappa, One Way Theory, Woodrad. I'm in the Philly area. There was a ton of flooding. It seems like this current season has been really bad for like everyone in the northern hemisphere. Actually, I've heard of flooding in Belgium, the Netherlands. I think was it Germany also, Russia, a lot of different parts in the U.S. Also a lot of flooding. But yeah, it's been pretty bad. This season's like been pretty crazy because of all the heat, and then there's been storms forming everywhere. Yeah, like we are hitting like record hot days these days, and as a result, a lot of rain too. Bayano Delas, hello. Salve, salve, hello. Let's see. Cup rubber. Yeah, we're using some toker today. Have you ever used a CRP keycap set? Yeah, of course. I have plenty of CRP sets. You mean like the Hammerworks CRP sets, right? Yeah, of course I have. I've supported Hammerworks CRP since round 1. I like them a lot. I'm a big fan of them. I went in pretty hard on round 4 actually. Lucky to live in Canada where we get the tail end of things. Yeah, I guess so. Perps the illest, the man, the myth, the legend. What's up? Sourdough. Great name, I love it. I love sourdough. Sourdough bread. We be double fisting Hokkaido and Thai tea out here. Wait, do you actually get the Hokkaido tea, Jordan? R1 was a nightmare. R1 was, it had its bad parts to it. That's for sure. But I actually still have R1 sets that I like. But yeah, it was kind of crazy because at first we paid $170 per set for TKL only compatibility, only for them to end up being ditched by BSP, and then they made their own caps, and then their own caps turned out alright, pretty good, but I mean, because it was the first round, it still had its issues. So yeah, I still have R1 GI Pink. I think I have the Hebrew sets and the, what else do I have? R1. Then Cyrillic Knights, Moscow Knights. Yeah, that one. I do too. Feel the oneness with the cup rubber. I see 2.0 ADD. I click on 2.0. 2.0 add, I guess. 2.0 add. I got Red Cyrillic, Peacock, and Tulip for the alphas. 2 mod kits though. That's not bad. I mean, 2 mod kits and 3 alpha kits. That's not too bad. Oh, not yet. Hoping it comes tonight. The Hokkaido. What are you drinking right here? Right there. I'm drinking. This is watermelon slushy. It's just frozen watermelon blended with some water and a teeny bit of sugar. Because I think this batch I had a lot of the bottom part near the peel part of the watermelon. All right, let's get started. Your drink selection's on point, dude. I love having different kind of drinks in the summer. I've also felt a little bit more inspired lately. I've been cooking more. I've been trying new things more in the kitchen. Just been spending more time kind of exploring that lately. I enjoy cooking. I enjoy doing things like that. So it's been fun. So we have our Moyu blacks and our stabs. If you don't know Amharic, you should 100% look it up. Totally worth it. I don't know what that is. I never heard of it. Amharic is an Ethiopian Semitic language. Oh. Hi Diego, flex feet after build for me. Okay, buddy. I mean, you sure you don't want to just see it now? Okay, I'll stop. Whoa there. That will be $250, everybody. Thank you so much. Please let it rain. Let it rain. That was $250, okay? Per foot. Let's see though. What are your thoughts on Fiel and Klippe? Both are excellent tray mount cases. They've actually improved quite a lot since their initial rounds. I actually have an R1 Fiel and had an R1 Klippe. They're both very good. But they are tray mounted boards, so they have their bit of stiffness to them. But on later rounds, they started doing this thing where you could remove the tray, the screw points, and so like the standoffs, and so you could like make like a 4-point standoff or a 2-point standoff, even like you could remove some of those points, and so like it kind of allowed for more flexibility there. And so I think the Klippe and the Fiel, like the two, that line of boards is actually not bad at all. Like it's pretty good. I mean, maybe I think for the price it might not compete as well nowadays, but back when they came out they were like really good. Yeah, I think now maybe like the price point has gone down because they need to compete with the rest of the market. Is this a Matrix Labs board? Yeah, it is. It is a Matrix Lab board. Put them back up. I was almost done. 50 for each toe? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's exactly right. 50 for each toe. All right, let's get this opened up. So here are some screws, daughter board, and cables. The PCB's already been tested, so I did that ahead of time today. Going to the gym for a bit. We'll be back. Hope stream goes well. Thank you so much, Guapa. Have a good time at the gym. We have some plate foam, or it's kind of like, it's more like a silicone sort of thing. We have an aluminum plate, which we're not using, but I can open it up if you guys want to check it out. Here's the alu plates. Yeah, this is just a gray alu plate. Nothing crazy here. And then there's the bottom silicone thing that goes at the bottom of the PCB, below the PCB. And this is the carbon fiber plate. It has some interesting cuts to it. Is it still hot on the East Coast? Yeah, today's actually been pretty hot. Today was like 90 degrees, 90 something, so pretty hot. Fiel can be gummy worm mounted. Oh, I see. Oh man, it's fate, dude. I literally just pulled out my HKB tonight. I've got your lube and build stream open, another tab ready to lube this thing and get it leveled up for work next week. Oh, awesome. I'm so envious. Matrix Lab is the biggest machining flex. Oh, that's for sure. They do some sick machining. That is for sure. Oh my god. Just played on loop. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Of course it would also be Mick who would clip it and ship it. All right, what color? Yeah, we'll get there. So the color for today, ready for your Wikifeed page. There's a Wikifeed thing. I didn't even know that existed. Today we have an interesting coating. Looks like. Look at that. Look at that. It's like this coated. It looks like a wall or like a floor. I don't know. It looks like. It's like that cool like. I don't even know. Is this like marble? I don't even know. Like that, like cool grainy coating. McFlurry? Is this a McFlurry? Okay, well, McFlurry, whatever that is. But this coating, it's stone. Yeah, it's like stone. Oh my god, the bottom is so sick. Holy shit! Look at the accent colors. Damn. The darker tone against the lighter is so sick. Brass looks good against it too. I like this navy toned accent here. Very nice combo. Yeah, no, this is quite sick. Yeah. A+. I like this a lot. I think we have everything we need. Let's see, daughter board, screws, PCB, plates. Okay, yeah, I think we have everything we need. Let's put this back. It's lightning silver and blue. Not quite silver, but yeah, McFlurry. Thank you very much. Yeah. That one. Another Matrix indeed, friendship. What's up? How are you doing, my friend? They recently raffled like 100 of a special color. Oh, I see. Yeah, they do throw out flash sales quite frequently, and their prices are not that small now. Like with their like retail sales. But hey, Diego is cool, guys. Shows toast nice, dude. That was a one-time exclusive event. Won't happen again for a long time. If y'all missed it, then that's it. Unfortunately, it's already been immortalized, but you know, it is what it is. So I've already tested the PCB. Oh, there's a small mark here. Looks like the coating was slightly off here. There's a very tiny mark here at the F5 area, but otherwise looks okay. Yep. All right. Let's get started. So I already tested the PCB, so we can just get started with the stabs actually. Shoko on this. I don't know. Will the Shoko look good on this? I feel like there's other sets that could look good too, so I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I should turn it over. I think the back side looks even better. Yeah, there we go. That looks way better. Thank you for speaking out on the botanical mod situation. Wild times. I was looking forward to R2 and I'm a little bummed still getting it though because I need it. Yeah, I personally cannot concede it just because the stepped caps is something that I use all the time. And even the step control like won't do it for me, right? Because there's that Mac based icon which I despise. Like that icon for control that comes from the Mac. I really don't like that one either. So yeah, I can't even use step control or controller or whatever, you know, instead of caps lock. So yeah, it's kind of a lost cause for me. So I'm probably not gonna go on it unless they decide to add to the kit, like to like a child kit or whatever it is, right? Yeah. What did they fuck up? Botanical? Oh, it uses that like stepped. It uses that text plus icon version of the caps lock, which on stepped caps looks really cramped. That's my issue with it. Even the render appears so cramped for it, and so that's what I really didn't like. Give the people what they want. I recently added a foot cam redemption. Jesus Christ. Stepcaps' life of what on earth did they do with that? Oh, and yeah, there's the 1.5U Buxp. So, yeah. It is what it is, though. It is what it is. Aren't the centered icons enough? Come on, Omni. I mean, I'm telling you, man. Innovation, quote unquote. Something about courage, innovation, and design. Inspired by one of the probably worst practicing brands on the planet, but you know, just saying. If it ain't broke, yo, I know. That's how I feel about it, but apparently breaking quote unquote tradition is a thing, so. Man, I'm so jealous of that HHKB. Wait, why? It's a Pro 2. Is it because of the caps on it? It's just a Pro 2 though. I'm on the Pro 3 Hybrid Type S right now. The caps, yes. Oh, I see. Yeah, it took me it took me a bit to get all the stuff for it. The mods were made by Misc. The WASD is by Togepi, and the HKBRs are from Key Collective, and then there's the Clacks. But the mods are the coolest part for sure. I believe somebody else, I think Switchnally had commissioned these from Misc first, and later on he decided to sell them, and I happened to pick them up when he did. And then there's a Clack. They're all artisans? Well, all of the colored ones are. The regular blanks are OEM caps. These come with the keyboard. But the modifiers and the like the gamer sets, quote unquote, are definitely artisans. Artisan keycaps. Yeah. Misc cap sales are the biggest motivation I have to buy an HKB. Mitch does a great job for sure. I mean, there's not many people who make Topre anymore, which is kind of a bummer. We really just don't see as much Topre out there, like custom Topre stuff, like from especially modifier kits and stuff, because that's normally what kind of really changes up the look. Alphas are cool. I mean, like individual keys, but yeah, I would say like modifier kits are really what make it. I don't know if I could do HKB layout. I like my controller for gaming. I tried switching my control to caps lock spot and I couldn't do it. Oh, I see. I understand. It's definitely a habitual thing. Like, I did have to get used to it as well, even for gaming and whatnot. It took me a little time, yeah. But after I did the switch and I managed to get used to it, I haven't gone back since then to left corner control. Like, I don't do that anymore. Control is always at the caps lock spot now. Like even for like FPS games and all that stuff. Yeah, I even moved my non-HKB layouts to that layout. Yep. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me too. I got used to it and then I ended up basically just moving all of my layouts to something like it. Yeah. It's nice though. It's like a muscle memory. So once you get used to it, it'll stay. Once someone figures out how to make programmable real force PCBs, it's over. I'm not touching another board. I have to say, that would be very cool. I mean, it is possible to remap things, but not like with a Hasu, but that's not quite a native solution. So, yeah, we'll have to wait until we get like actually fully programmable natively done PCBs, like, you know, QMK VIA stuff, or I don't know. Well, I mean, technically you could port something like the Hasu USB to VIA with a real force layout. It should be doable, because it's just a matter of detecting what layout it has. Or you could hard code it. Isn't the Pro 3 programmable, remappable? Yeah, but it's not a real force, as Alhex says. Currently using a Kara, and still finding it hard to get adjusted to this layout, especially no dedicated arrows. Oh yeah, I understand that point. I think if you, yeah, I mean, I too use like normal keyboards for a very long time, right? I didn't do HKB until maybe like 4 years ago. So, yeah, like it's relatively recent. I mean, you know, as like in my life, but yeah, it did take me like a few months to get used to personally, and I just decided to stick with it and try it out because I heard good things about it, right? I was like, people told me the same things, right? Like, oh, like if you get used to it, it'll be different for you. It's pretty transformative or whatever. It like makes a lot of sense, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, you know, I believe you. I'm not gonna discredit what you're trying to tell me. So I just gave it a shot. But it was strange for sure. It was very strange. Yeah, and you need to use HKB arrows. Yeah, HKB arrows are quite nice in my opinion. Is it accurate to say that HKBs were made thinking about programmers? Partially, yeah, because Dr. A.E.T. Wada, who was the person who designed the HKB layout, he did it. He's a computer scientist, so yeah, it was with that in mind. But it was more so in mind, like what he did it in mind with is like he actually did it with like ergonomics in mind. So yeah, it's like programmers, but also just like general use ergonomics in mind. There's actually a long time ago, I think, might have been Living Speed Bump from Key Chatter. He did a interview with Dr. Wada. I think you can look it up. Just look up like HHKB creator interview or something like that. I think you should be able to Google it. Yeah. Newcomers be like, I code, so I think I need an HHKB. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, yeah, it is very popular in the programming world, or like among programmers, just because it is marketed towards them. But it's really not just that. Yeah, it's marketed like that because it's also like very like portable and whatnot, and yeah, like programmers do spend like quite a lot of time in front of a computer. My HKB series is my travel board. Yeah, I mean, I do like having a lighter board for that reason too. Yeah. In my case, normally like this HHKB is normally my travel board because it has the Hasu Bluetooth. Right now, I just have it plugged in because the battery was out of power. But yeah, like I can connect it through Bluetooth as well. Also, is the chat box showing up at all? Nope. I don't know why. I guess Twitch and its chat box. Nope, it's not working right now. Oh well. Right? Yeah, it's not working. It's not showing up, rather. Oh, it just worked for a second. Oh. Okay. No. Earlier when I typed typed something, it didn't show up at all. It does disappear a little fast, I guess. It's not that fast, actually. It's still there. Still like 10 seconds-ish. Also, my chat doesn't go that fast, so it's like, I think that's probably why it seems like there's not as much permanence. How's school going so far? School is going okay. I mean, summer is a time for research, so that's going alright. Making progress. Slowly but surely. What are you going to lube the stab wires with? 205. I've been sticking to 205. Just easier to stick to one thing. I want those stabies. Oh yeah, the AE board stuff. I actually should be getting us some samples of those at some point. So, but I'm not sure if they're the most recent version for them. So we'll see. I'll check them. I mean, I guess I'll talk about it when I get them, right? And like I use them. Yeah. But yeah, I should be getting a sample of those. They're quite interesting. That's what I hear. Stevie sounds like a disease. It kind of does. Sounds like scabies. Or like rabies. Yeah, it does sound like a disease. The stab disease. A stable disease? I just realized I never lubed the stab stems on my boards. I would argue that the stab stems you don't have to lube. You don't have to lube your stab stems. Some people do it because they prefer to, but you don't have to. You don't have to lube your stab stems. Some people, for example, Anthony001, he does not lube his stab stems at all. He does not touch them at all. He only lubes the wire. That's because he prefers to have it loose so that it just like moves much more freely. I do it because I don't mind having a little bit of that more, like a thicker, more like kind of gummier feel to it. But that's also because yeah, that's just my preference. But yeah, some people don't do it at all. Has some sort of rubber-coated stab wire been tried out before? Yeah, it has been. Yeah. Also, hi Harsha. Yeah. I know that Knee Deep the other day was trying liquid electric tape coated. I'm not sure if that worked out well for him, but I need to ask again if it worked out for him. But yeah, people have tried like tape around it, but tape doesn't work because tape is too easy to screw up the way, like how tightly you wrap it around the wire. So like a liquid version of the electric tape is actually like usable, because could be usable because you're technically just brushing it on, and it'll just stick, right? So you'll try to like coat it as thinly as possible, but enough that it's substantial. Yeah. They sound fine without? Yeah, well that's good. Oh, F? Oh shit, we back. Oh, sorry. Chat like screwed up for a second. Okay, back now. Yeah, sorry. So I was saying that Knee Deep was trying to do liquid electric tape on, like, brushed liquid electric tape on a stab wire. I'm not sure how that worked out for him though. That's all I really said. Solid tape doesn't work. Like wrapping tape around the wire is kind of a bad idea. I've also tried heat shrink before. That doesn't work either because it doesn't wrap tightly enough around the wire that it becomes too bulky. Heat shrink wrap from some Rama video, it seems like it could be possible to just do them as a stock product. Yeah, I don't think the heat shrink thing works too well because it doesn't wrap as tightly as you think. Either the heat shrink has to be like perfectly sized for the wire and like perfectly spherical, like cylindrical rather. Otherwise, I think it's kind of iffy. I just stuff with Krytox and pray. Yeah. I just still only use Krytox. I don't use any of these Band-Aid mods, Holy mod, whatever, Epsi mod. I still haven't done any of those, and I'm still okay with it. Heat shrink goes from 3 to 1. I bought that KVD Fans heat shrink and made the stab not work at all. Did they even test the product? Probably not. Probably not if it didn't work. Or if they did, it was probably like a singular instance that it worked, and they were like, oh, it's fine. Move on. Full production, baby. Let's go. People will buy it. All that matters is that you sell it, right? Chatbox actually dead now? RIP? Yeah, Chatbox does die whenever the stream dies, actually. Yeah, whenever the stream dies, the chat box dies with it, I think. JD fix the chat box? JD, you fix the chat box. Is heat shrink used to prevent pop out? No, not pop out. It's used to add a bit of thickness to the part of the wire so that you don't get rattle. That's why people use heat shrink on their stabs. Hopefully, Chatbox will be back in a short time. Yeah, these disconnects have been annoying, but I do think it just is the Twitch ingest server. It's just bad. It's just not good. That's all. One of my stab stems popped out last week when I was removing keycaps. What kind of keycaps? PBT caps tend to be notoriously tight. And I've heard C3 stabs also being slightly tight. But then again, I don't use C3 stabs often, so I can't tell you firsthand like how much, if there's like a very substantial difference or whether I've had firsthand experience with it. GMK, I see. Well, sometimes they just hug tightly, I guess. I always do, I try to wiggle, or I try to use my fingers directly. Like, I try to... I don't have an MX board here right now with me, but I could show you later. Milky, hello, what's up? I got some KBD mod springs, super excited to try them. I mean, they're just normal springs, right? So But that's cool. Hopefully an outlier, yeah. Do people still lube around the bend? I do. I'm always scared that lube in the fixture makes it easier to pop out. It could, but I personally know how to be careful around taking out my keycaps. So I personally have, I haven't had a wire pop out in a while now. Even when using non-Durock V2 stabs, I've had rarely any wires pop out because I just try to be as careful as I possibly can be while I'm removing keycaps from the stab. So, yeah. I do find that the L-bend area does have still some small variations that can cause a bit of noise. So that's why I still do it. But yeah. Like a 70s orgy, everything is lubed. I think it's more like, well, I feel like everything should be lubed. Always. I've had some ridiculously loose Durock V1. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it can just vary. And so that's why I still lube the L-bend a bit. For me, the key part to focus on as far as that ticking noise goes is like towards the tip of the wire is where it normally happens the most. Like that like cylindrical, that circular face at the very, very tip of the wire. That's where most of the ticking occurs. Samu is you. Ayo, hello. Also, when is my chat box ever gonna come back? I guess not. Oh, there it is. There it is. Would rounding that with a file do anything? It could, but the problem is how can you consistently do it right? How can you consistently end up with not like a sharp edge by accident? That's a problem with mods for me. With like modifications that are kind of like involve like doing something to like a specific parts. Same goes for like the Holy mod or FC mod and all these things. The part that worries me the most is consistency. It's like, how do you do it how do you do it consistently every single time you do it? Like if you do it 100 times, can you get 99 of them right? Friend with lathe, come on. That's just unrealistic. It's like, at that point, might as well get a new thing produced that's just correctly done. Alright? Might as well make a very large batch of wires that is exactly the same and it's just right. But yeah, because that's not quite the case right now with our stabs in 2021. We still have to deal with this issue. Had to do that for some jank screws I got with my matrix. So yeah, for the record, I'm going to use more lube today than I normally do on the wires, on the stabs, because I was told that they prefer to use a lot of lube in their stabs, so I'm just going to follow the instruction. I had to take off a millimeter from diameter of the head. Ooh. Wow, okay. Got like stripped or something? Speaking of jank screw, or was it just stuck? I'm 0 out of 2 for getting the right screws with aftermarket keyboard purchases. That's annoying. I mean, I know that screws are not hard to get, like replacements, because, you know, it's like McMaster does sell like everything, but you also have to get like 50 screws at a time. It's not like it's the cheapest thing, and you know, I think you should just get the right screws on the first try anyway. But yeah, that's really annoying. Make the seller pay for the screws. You think we should rethink if stab wires are the answer, though? What if there's a better solution? I mean, I don't personally know what it is, but I'm sick of stab wires. The issue is both stab wires and the housing, right? It really is the space that's in between them. Is the fact that they can wiggle around in it. But the thing is, it's a very delicate issue, right? You make it too tight, and the thing gets stuck. Or like you create pressure, and like the wire will pop or something, you know? You make it too loose, then we exacerbate the issue we already have. It's just one of those things where, like, it's in manufacturing at least, right? Like, it's like how far can we push the tolerances so that they're like perfectly right, and also be able to, you know, produce tens of thousands of these at the right tolerance, like, amount, right? So it's tough. Hear me out. Stab switches? Oh yeah. So stab switches is actually not a bad idea. You know why? Because if you look at some vintage boards, they actually come with empty switches, basically switches with no springs as a replacement for the position of the stab. This is actually a thing that vintage boards did do, and I think it's actually not a bad idea at all. But the problem is, yeah, it would maybe mess up with the footprint of the PCB, but it could be worth it. Who knows? Worth a shot? Wait, no springs? Yeah, no springs. Because all that the stab has to do, right? But yeah, how do you connect them is a real question, right? You would have to connect the keycap. You would have to connect the keycap somehow. Like, you have to connect left and right somehow, right? So, for example, in like big ass enter, that's possible because the keycap is big enough to just spans the whole damn thing. It just moves like the switch. I mean, like the stems will just move with the keycap. But if you have like a space bar, you have to somehow connect like 6 or 7 U of distance, right? It's like the question is, how do you do that? Would it rattle less? Maybe, because it's contained, right? It's contained within this vertical region. Maybe. You also reduce the build time by 50% if the stabs don't have to be lubed. I mean, yeah, that's also true. Basically, a fixed cylinder that cannot generate any tilt. Yeah, that would basically be the idea. But then you do have to connect left and right, though. Like, you have to make it so that whenever you press on the right, it doesn't go on the left. Like, I mean, it goes along with it on the left, and so on and so forth, right? Like, you have to make it even. And that's the whole point of stabilizers. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Is the real answer here? I'm not very sure as to what the right thing to do would be. Since the client requested that I use a lot of lube, I'm just gonna pre-inject these stabs with lube. That way I don't have to do it later. Oops. We need an answer, Lightning. You have to know the community's in uprising. Man, I wish I knew. If I had the answer, first of all, I'm not sure if I would say it, because then I would just go and develop my own product and make bank from it. Right? Patent it or something. The way business works. Stat bars are basically the same as roll bars in a car. Yes, that is exactly right. Inventing a new system to stabilize the spacebar would lead to a new kind of suspension in vehicles, yeah. Indeed, I would be filthy rich. Was it you who said, Diego, that if we had good stabs, there would be no builders and streamers? This is correct. This is correct. How do they remove rattle in roll bars? Oil? A lot of oil? Basically, the same way we deal with it in keyboards. Did someone do the thing? No, I don't think anybody has. Oh no, my name color reset? Huh. Weird. I think a lot of people watch streamers to interact with their personalities rather than focus solely on the builds. This is true. This is true. I mean, I would argue that that is most likely the truth. But even then, well, the problem is this. It would be that streamers would, or builders would have no content to work with because people would not send their boards for them to build because they could just do it themselves. The only reason they would be doing work is because people don't have soldering irons and they just want to send it to the builder to do that. But yeah, it would be much less incentivized. So yeah, that would definitely be a deterrent. So they wouldn't have anything to build if they're yeah, exactly. That is exactly right. Like I know for a fact that people Hot swap is very popular, so that argument is also shaky. Yes, I do agree with that, but despite hot swap being available, right? I would argue that my returning customer base comes back to me because they know I build consistently. So there's a bit of that. Like there are people who have come and told me like, you do a good job building and I like how you do it, so I'm here again. And you know, that's very flattering. But at the same time, it kind of speaks to the truth of why people like us are around. Except that one time where I went to drop off a board he was gonna build. He had me waiting outside his apartment for 45 minutes because he was cooking and forgot. Oh my god. This is true. Damn. Dude, why do you have to do me like that? Why you gotta do me like that? Oh my god. It is true. It is the one time I had someone wait because I like had left my phone on vibrate and it was not with me. So I was cooking and then I was like
I was like, oh shit. I got too focused. I was cooking up a storm in the kitchen. Oh boy, that was fun.
Well, fortunately, Reach had driven up to the apartment, so he was in his car. But but still, absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's just not nice at all. Oh my god. How about this, Reach? I'll discount the stabs from the build. Let's do that. I feel bad. But yes, can't forget promotion of vendor products. That is also true. Highlighting, did I just miss some deep stuff? Nah, we're just talking about stabs, and we're talking about how I ditched on Reach outside of my apartment. Because yeah, been a bad boy. Also, your boy Crim, I guess. Your boy Crime, I suppose you're trying to say, maybe? I don't know, but thank you so much for the comment. Love the stream, they say. Fuck, I'm crying. See, this is true entertainment value, my friends. And customer service all in one. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh, exposed. I actually can't say that's the worst story I have. There was this one time a friend of mine it's actually, yeah, like, I mean, they're a friend of mine, and like, but back then they were like one of my first few not first few clients, sorry. It was their first time being a client of mine. And that buddy of mine, so I was back then I was in medical school, and so I was busy doing clinical rotations and stuff. I mean, or I was like doing some work in the clinic, and so I was out in the Bronx, right? So like it was like 30 minutes from here, let's say, and I was gonna come back from work to meet that friend for a drop off. But that day, there was an unexpected snowstorm in the city, and we were taking the Uber back to like my neighborhood, like my buddy and I, and instead of 30 minutes, we took 3 hours because the highway flooded, trees fell, everything was slippery, and it was rainy, like slushy everywhere. That buddy actually waited like 2 hours soaking wet inside of my like apartment lobby. And my battery was running out on my phone, and I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, I'll be there as soon as I can. Yeah, big yikes. Anyway, Nachos, what's up? Thanks for the hydrate. What a bad builder, SMH. I mean, I know. Anyway, so yeah, he made it. I made it back, and yeah. Is that foam? Yes, it is foam. It is indeed foam. I'm being asked to use the foam today, so. Today we use foam. Or the silicone thing from Matrix. Is getting ignored part of the build experience? Maybe. Maybe Seacross. Yo, Obsidian, what's up, buddy? Oh shit, a mod's here. For once. Just kidding. Obsidian's here more often than Dennis now, though. Dennis is long gone. Never here. Never here. Dennis mod check. Only one more full day of driving and we're finally in Colorado. Wait. Road trip through Kansas right now? Oh. Wait, from where to where are you going? Where do you start and where are you ending, Mr. Nachos? For this road trip. Oh! Reach! Are you here? We're gonna do step caps lock today, my friend. There's no choice. It's fixed step caps lock. Get fucked. It's okay. It's a better choice in my opinion, but yeah. Get wrecked. Unless you, I don't think I can file this though. It's carbon fiber. I don't think I can do that. Let me DM him. Does the orientation for the stabs have much significance with enter and right shift? Well, your PCB and your plate always have to match the, it has to match the PCB and the plate have to match the orientation, yeah. So, like, you see how this is a south-facing, like, wire, right? Like, like the wire is facing this way. The cutout has to match it. Because otherwise, when the stab goes up like this, if there's not enough clearance, then your stab's gonna hit the plate before, so it's gonna not go up as it should. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. But other than that, the significance, no, there's no real significance. I mean, you just have to be consistent. That's all. And it has to fit in the PCB. Yeah. But traditionally, I would say, or like typically, I would say most people use south-facing for most things until they can't. So like in the case of enter and right shift, like because the right shift has south-facing, you can't do south-facing enter unless I mean you can, but you have to like just like make sure everything's like cleared. I think I don't think you. Yeah, no, I don't think you can because of the clearance. Yeah, you just have to make sure everything's like clear from each other, like, you know, all the parts like fit properly. Yeah, that's the only reason you would have to like be aware of how you're doing that. I think Rama does both south facing. Yeah, so yeah, Whaleba will do south facing everywhere if he can. Do you copy any eggplants from Gion? Wait, is that like an aluminum keycap or something? No, I guess not. If that's a thing. No, probably not. And I probably wouldn't anyway. I'm not like interested.
Don't really care about the eggplant meme. I guess people who watch Simon might be really interested in that. So these pins are slightly bent. So I'm just gonna... Alright. Culture Diego, we could all learn from this mature man. I mean, he even eats Vegemite now. Yo, Vegemite actually is good. Like, it packs such a strong punch of umami that I actually am enjoying. Like, I actually am having butter toast and Vegemite every so often now, and it's actually really good. Because it packs like it's a very, very, very strong umami. So you have to use it very sparingly, extremely sparingly, and I really think it adds like flavor in a very unique way, and I like it. I like it. It's quite good for you too. Oh yeah, I did hear, because it's like yeast extract. It's like one of the richest sources of vitamin B, like various kinds of vitamin B, including folate, which are essential vitamins for your system. So yeah. Monkey would be proud. And then Wilbur hits us with the north-facing space, probably because clay screen. Yeah. So Spacebar. Okay. So Funzy brings up a good point. Spacebar clearance is actually very important. If you do south-facing spacebar, your bezels have to be thicker on the case. So if you want the bezel of the case to be somewhat thinner, especially because otherwise you have to mail into the case a bit, right? So you need a certain bezel size. If you want to make it like south facing, the bezel has to be slightly thicker. If it's north facing, you can make the bezels thinner on the horizontal edge. Yeah. So clearance does matter for the PCB for the spacebar, because that means your PCB has to be bigger if you have south facing, right? Or at least like you'll have some parts of this part like here stick out a little. So yeah, that will matter. Rivius, hello. People make the mistake of eating a huge amount of Vegemite and end up hating it. Yeah, that's because people think of it as a spread, but it's not a spread. It's like a condiment. You just add a little bit. Like you're essentially sprinkling a teeny bit of Vegemite to add the flavor. Yeah, I realized that when I tried it on stream that time when I got it. I actually didn't know anything about Vegemite. I've heard that people are like, oh yeah, like don't eat too much of it, right? But I figured it was because it has a strong taste, right? So that's why I like had like a very tiny bit. But like when I tasted it, I was like, oh, it's really salty, and it has like a lot of umami, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna just use a tiny bit on things that I want that like strong umami. So I actually think like it would go really well in like certain sauces if you add like maybe like, you know, like not even like maybe like not even like a teaspoon of Vegemite into like a sauce batch or something. I think it could add a lot of interesting flavor to it. Yeah. sound good. I'm just gonna add a little bit more lube on this one. And here. Okay. All right. Hey Diego, how are you today? Serious, how are you? Take pickle juice and flick it on my sandwiches for flavor. Ew, that actually sounds pretty good. Oh, so the other day I was I think talking about pickles, right? I love pickles though. I love pickles. I love picklebacks, like using pickle juice as a chaser. Mmm, yum yum yum. Especially to like a shot of whiskey or something, or like even like rum. You love Pickle Rick? Pickle Rick is good too. You don't dunk your sandwich in pickle juice? Pickle juice brine on fried chicken actually slaps. Ooh, that sounds delicious actually. Mmm. Oh yeah. Back from working out? Nice. Diego, have you tried Mediterranean pickles? I probably have, but I kind of don't know the distinctions as well. Like I can't like describe it to you like out of nowhere. Yeah, I probably have tried it though. Yeah. Wait. Read that not when I said hi? Wait, when did I miss it? When did I miss it? Hola Diego. Okay, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Sorry. I also missed the other Nacho saying, from Ohio, hitting some national parks in Utah, Colorado, out there, and then coming back. Stopped in St. Louis earlier today. Ooh, that sounds like a fun road trip, though. Sorry, when I look down, I stop looking at chat, you know? So, I sometimes chat moves up, and then I don't see it. So demanding, I know. So needy. So attention-seeking. Gosh. See me, please. Insert like overly attached girlfriend meme, you know, like it's just like me. Are we there yet? Read the chat. JD, read the chat. Yeah, JD could read the chat for me, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Poach, hello. Gotta start growing some eyes on the crown of your head. Oh goodness, that's so creepy. What is this, man? Is this like some Jujutsu Kaisen shit? I'm gonna start like growing like limbs and eyes everywhere. Early stream today, indeed. You should get a chat helper that like reads it out loud into my ears. But if chat's too fast, that's like literally unusable. Get a voice bot to read every. No, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. It's like it would be unusable if chat goes too fast, or if people spam like the stupidest shit. Like I'll be like, like shut up. I'll ban like half the chat, I bet. Because people would just be like super annoying on purpose. I could see it. Oh, damn it. Some of these pins are like half bent. It's super annoying. I don't know why they do this sometimes. Haha, mod tilde. LLLLL, yeah. If you can't read 1,000 words per minute, then you're fired. Hentai's in chat. People would actually post some like random ass shit, like scripts and stuff. Goodness. Just imagining that makes me feel pissed off already. I made it capital? What? Isn't it not case sensitive? Yeah, it's case sensitive, dude. I mean, it's case insensitive, dude. It's not case sensitive. Come on. Angry. Kind of excited about this build, actually. I don't know why. Something about it. Why does JD not have your second name? That's a good question, because well, actually it's because, you know, JD's name was chosen through a naming contest, and that was a name that won, so I just had to respect it. Or F chat and slap your second name? Why would I do that though? Why would I do that? Why would I have to feel so self-important to slap my second name? He's your son? So? What if I just don't want them to be juniors of myself? Like, you know? Like, you know how, like, there's, like, you know, like, Charles the Fourth and shit? Or, like, Charles Jr., and then it's, like, Charles the Third, Charles the Fourth, Daniela the Second. That stuff, it's like... it's like, can't be original enough to name them something different? Carl's Jr.? Yo, I love Carl's Jr., though. Yo, give me some of that bacon. What is that? What is that burger? The one with bacon something. I forget. I haven't had Carl's Jr. in like forever now. Now that I think about it. But I like the one that has bacon in it. I love burgers with bacon, actually. Yeah. Oof. M Junior don't want to be Junior though. You see what I'm saying? Like, why does he have to be, you know, why would one drunk man's, you know, like, if one drunk man had a child, right? Like, why would they don't have to be one drunk man junior, or one drunk junior, or maybe it's two drunk man. Forcibly made into a junior? Yeah. What if Lana likes thick is suddenly Lana likes too thick? Two drunk men? So it's a drunk family. This plate doesn't have the spacebar mount? Oh, it doesn't, I guess. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is custom. Yeah, I guess this was custom made? I actually don't know. Did Matrix make this plate? I actually don't know who made this plate, so... It was just sent in the box, so... Yeah. He's on a roll today? Hey. And also it's roll with double L, by the way. I'm on a roll, on the streamer roll. I have assumed the streamer roll today. Mr. Streamer. SMH. Are you gonna blame autocorrect now? I know that you're on a PC right now. Mosaic Dev, thank you so much for gifting 3 tier 1 subs. That is so nice of you. Wonders why I haven't been here. Driving away his my streamer. Why was that sad? You should be happy for me. JK. I'm not that toxic. Third grader Diego says otherwise. Shit. I do have that going against me, yeah. Oh, third grader Diego. You're ugly. Oh yeah, I do have some mail today. I got this earlier in the mail. I forgot to share. I got one of these things. I got a Southern cap in the mail. You guys want to check it out? It's my favorite Southern cap. At least one of my favorites. The Alchemy copper cap. So sick. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Is it oxidized? Yeah, it has patina on it. It's patinaed. No, it's a true copper that has been patinaed. That's stupid. McChillin keep channeling third grader Diego today. That's some shit. You managed to catch an extra? So I managed to get the Element copper one, and I traded it for the Alchemy one because I like this one better. Yeah. I didn't know it was like anodization, something that is awesome. Well, it is very awesome. Patina is cool, just ask Knee Deep. Yeah. He's a patina enthusiast. Oh, I guess we have some extras. Alright. Looks pretty good. Looks like all the sutures went in really nicely. I don't see any weird parts here that have popping out or anything like that. Alright. The question is, Diego, what do you actually say to the girl? Because we know you spoke Spanish. We know you spoke Spanish in 3rd grade. I literally said, like, you're hideous, but in Spanish. Like you're like ugly in Spanish. Yeah, I know. Well, I do have a bit of a closure to this story, which is that later on, you know, I went to an all-male school for a while, And then, but the all-female school is like pretty much right across. It's like they're connected, so it's basically a co-ed situation, like for recess and like after that. But basically, she ended up transferring to my school, and like later on, like in middle school, I think. And I got to learn that it was that same girl, because I had forgotten about the incident entirely, right? And so one day I was like, I should apologize for that. So I went up to her and I was like, you know, I'm so sorry. I got pressure from a bunch of friends, and I was feeling really like, you know, I was feeling really like off, and you know, I went up to you and said something really mean. Yeah. So she was like, it's okay. We didn't become like best friends or anything. We just were acquaintances. But she was like, it's okay. You know, she was like, we're just kids. Yeah. She was fortunately understanding. Now he said you're so ugly. No, she was actually cute. But yeah. God, you guys are terrible. Said you're ugly, but in Korean this time. No. Shoho, thank you so much for the 7 months. Thank you so much for the sub. Hope you're doing well. Oh God. Gosh, you guys. Alright, let's get started with the soldering. I do have a fan running next to me, so it's blowing away some of the fumes. Just like muttered it while walking away. That is horrible. That is just terrible. Come on, I was not that mean. I'm a saint now, though, basically. Iglesias Julian. Hi, I have a question. Is Band-Aid modding the same as getting foam stickers for the stabilizers? It is very similar, yes. So Band-Aid mod basically just means putting strips of Band-Aid under the portion where the stabilizer goes. So basically, imagine like this part here, but on the other side. So basically, like between the, oh well, you can't see because there's foam here, but basically on the other side of this. And you just put little strips of Band-Aid. You can use the stickers, yeah. You can use the stickers for that. Is the top part of the case the same as the bottom? Yeah, it's similar to this. It's like this, the lighter tone. Probably was crossing when apologizing, like crossing fingers. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's going to be similar, but I will say, Julian, like the or Julian, like stickers are gonna be different material from Band-Aids, right? Like Band-Aids can be like made out of fabric, like cloth. So they can also be like softer or harder, like different, you know, like different materials will have different feel to it. It fills up the space between the stabilizer and the PCB, so when the stabilizer does hit the bottom, it's going to touch the Band-Aids or the sticker. So the material can make a difference in how it feels when you go down all the way to the bottom of the keystroke. So yeah, some people decide to use like hockey tape or medical grade tape, for example. I've seen electrical tape. I've seen. Yeah, people decide to use different kinds of tape or different kinds of materials for that part. So it's up to you. Is it very noticeable? I wouldn't say it's very noticeable. It's not like a huge thing, but yeah. When I used to do Band-Aid mod, I would do it with fabric Band-Aids. Let me get a CRP Tulip. Oh, okay, good choice. Sounds good. Hockey tape, WTF? What do you mean, what WTF? It's not like that bad. Oh yeah, let's talk a little bit about sponsors and more specifically stuff that happened today. So I think the Ella 75% went up today on Keys. I'm not sure if it's sold out, so it might still be up. And the Icky 68 Stargaze went up yesterday, so you could check that out on Keys as well. Yeah. But all the group buys I mentioned previously are the same. So I might just briefly go through them. There's like quite a few group buys going on right now. But yeah, the Ella and the Icky 68 are probably the most recent things. Speaking of, do you know any underrated mods? Underrated mods. No, I don't think any mod is particularly underrated. If anything, I feel like some mods are overrated rather than underrated. So no, no, not really. Can we get a copium emote? Wait, we don't have copium in here? Oh, I guess I don't have it on Franker Fazy or BTTV. Okay. Let me check actually. I could probably do it now. Franker Fazy or Better TTV, right? I just need to see if I have the slot for it. Let's see, my channel. 25 out of 25. Okay, I'm gonna remove an emote. Maybe I'll remove People G. I don't think we need People G anymore. How do I remove it here? Oh yeah, remove selected from channel. I can also remove, wait. Let's see. Yeah, People G is gonna go, I think. Because we have Meowga Notes. And I think I'm gonna remove Peppa Hands too, because Peppa Hands, we have Meowga Hands now. Okay, fine, I'll leave Peppa Hands. Peppa Hands is good. I'll remove Pog U though, I think. I think Pog U can go. Alright. I just removed 2 of them, and then let's look up in the public library for Copium. Alright, let's go. Copium, add selected to channel. Alright, I think we might have it soon. Copium. I'm not sure if it'll work right away though. Nope, not yet. It'll refresh soonish, hopefully? I don't know how long it takes for it to refresh. I think you have to wait a bit. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm gonna refresh the chat box thing, like the cache for this. Maybe that helps. Alright, let's see. Copium. There we go. Just try to refresh the chat. I think it will work. Pog, Copium, yeah. Let's go. Alright. Yeah, let's go mention some sponsor related stuff really fast. So again, Keys has a bunch of keyboards in stock too. I think they have like Obliterated 75 still, Devastating TKLs, and like some of the practice kits, like Practice TKL I think they still have. But yeah, GMK Foundation still up on Keys. GMK Moomin is coming up next week for a month. They do have a ton of switches like the Cerulean Durocks, Neapolitans, Coffee Chip, Moss, Lavenders, etc, etc. Then we have Kinetic Labs, which I've talked about. They have the Polycaps Whale Keycaps, 9009 sets, and then switches. They are trying to restock the Hippos soon. They had the Huskies recently, Penguins, Salmons, Carbon GS1 Lube and GS2. Oh, I think they recently restocked their Switch and like keycap containers, so you can check those out too. Keys doing well recently. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Whale out of stock? I see. Thank you, so. Thank you for letting me know. I can't keep track of all of this stock. That changes all the time, so it's hard to keep track. Yeah. But, let's see. And let's see. No updates from Mint Autumn that I know of. Then novel keys, we still have the NK65 Oblivion version. We have Oblivion V3.1 as a key set. We have desk mats. The M60 Oblivion version of it. There's a collab for that. There's Salvin caps, of course. I think Gatoron is still out of stock, right? So that's too bad. But there's switches and stabs and other stuff you can get 5% off from. There's some extra kits here and there. But most base kits and stuff are going to be out of stock from novel keys probably. Rukia never. SMH. Any skiffs avail. Do you have VOD of your personal 2.0 ADD? Yeah, it should be on YouTube. Just look it up. Just look up Matrix 8XV 2.0 additional like build stream or something. Well, you can look at my channel and you could probably find it. Put like Matrix and then like Lightning XI or something on YouTube, and I think you should be able to find it. Yeah. Pastel HKB mods, indeed. These are by Miccaps. But yeah, Omnitype has Botanical Round 2, as you guys know. Omnitype.com/lightning. If you would like to support the channel, and you're definitely getting Botanical. I know that I'm not, at least unless I hear that they're making changes to the few keycaps that I don't like. Then there's desk pads, of course, on Omnitype. Prime keyboards, they have Durock V2 stabs, the ones that I'm using, the ones like I'm using today. They also have the ones that are alpaca colored. They have TTC switches. I'm not sure if they still have Cobalt Palms or alpacas still available, but they did have a restock, you know, like last month, so yeah, can check. They have Deskeys products every so often, from films to Topia related things on Prime keyboards. Wondering why is soldering so much more popular than hot swap? Because yes, like Quappa said, more layout options. So it allows you to do different layout options, whereas hot swap doesn't. Some people prefer the alternative layout options over the ones that are fixed when things are hot swap. So when you have a hot swap socket, that hot swap socket stays there, so your layout gets fixed. Like if your backspace is a full 2U backspace, and you have a hot swap socket, then that's it. That's what it is. There are ways to work around it, but it does kind of, you have to kind of mess with the footprint of the PCB. So yeah, it's like up to the PCB designer to decide what hot swap layout to support. So yeah, if that is not your cup of tea, then solderable is the way to go to get your alternative layout. That's why, mainly. Main reason, I would say. And then it can be more fun to build, solderable, you know. I personally like the aspect of soldering, kind of feels a little therapeutic, and it's not very hard to do, for me at least now. Yeah, many reasons. Because half plate is infinitely worth the effort of soldering by itself. Yes, I do agree. Half plates are totally worth it. I agree 100%. I love half plates. Yeah. Alright, let's move on. ProjectKeyboard.com currently has Pingsu Round 2. So check them out. They also have some apparel and some other accessories, from switches to other things. Next up, check Salvin. Salvin has apparel, and he is, oh yes, so Salvin will be stocking some new products, switch related products, on his store soon. Let me give you guys a teaser. So they will be stocking these switches. These are the Auralites and the Amethyst tactile switches. So Auralites are linears, Amethysts are tactiles. These are indeed the Ash Keeps collaboration switches. They are made out of, it's what it says there, PME housing, palm stem, 63 gram double extension spring. These, I believe, are made by Deskeys. I think these are Deskeys switches rather than JWKs. But the color of these switches is so pretty. Just for the color, these are fantastic. Like, these switches are such a pretty color. I obviously got these and haven't lubed them, haven't done anything with them, right? I literally just got them. But the color is so pretty. So nice. And yeah, 63 gram, perfect weighting in my opinion. So pretty snappy. It's a long stem pole tactile switch. Long stem pole tactile switch. So these will be going up on Salvin's page sooner than later. And the linears are also long pole, long stem pole. So they sound kind of like similar to Reds. Long stem worst trend. I can't say I'm a huge fan of it either. I have to be honest. I do prefer regular stem. Because long stem, the problem with long stem is that it sounds really clacky, and I am not particularly like super invested into the sound profile of that, like creams and such. But yeah, it's a thing. Tell Reach he smells. Reach, you smell. The tactile bump is decently prominent. It's kind of yeah, bump. Like the bump is right at the top. The bump of this tactile switch is right at the top. Kind of similar to Holy Pandas, like just right at the top. Yeah. Also, Super Switch, hi! Thank you so much for the sub. 5 months already. But yeah, even stock, these are quite smooth, though. I have some long black stems, so I want to try them sometime. No comment. Is tape mod a good trend? I'm only just hearing about it, but it sounds good from the test I've heard. I've heard that tape mod is effective in some cases. In some cases it doesn't do much. But it is basically a way to add an interface, an extra interface where you have sorry. An extra interface where the sound has a place to absorb and also reflect. And so people have, like, I think the overall consensus is that tape mod makes your build sound a little louder because the sound is reflecting up a little bit more. And it particularly works for PCBs that have like cuts in them, or even like, you know, plates that do, because there's just more of that sound kind of going back up. So yeah, it is effective. It does work, and it also probably varies with the thickness of the tape, the type of the tape that you're using. I think it's a trial and error thing. However, you kind of have to try it to know how it's gonna change the sound for your case. I would say that if you're using a very adhesive, you're using a very adhesive tape, you know, be careful to not, like, you know, stick it for like very hard, and then it's gonna come off and might, like, you know, detach like a diode or something, right? So that's something to be careful about, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that's something to watch out for. But other than that, I would say that tape mod is, like, it can be effective, yeah. I like briefly tried it on one of my 60%s because it's, like, you know, easy to do. And it didn't do too much for that particular case, but I have seen, like, other people's videos and other people's, like, results about it, and I'm like, I don't have disbelief for it. I just think it's like it's definitely a trial and error sort of thing where you have to just do it yourself and see how it works out for you. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's necessarily good though. I don't think it's necessarily good. I think it's just, you just gotta try it to know if it helps or not. Yeah. I think it's a sweeping statement to say it always is going to improve something for you. So yeah. Anyway, let's go back and see. Don't people say the long pulse makes them sound luckier? Yeah, some people do say that. I don't agree with that. I think it's clacky, more clacky, kind of like brighter. Service is dying, so it might dip in a bit. Hope stream goes well. Thank you so much, Nuclear Nachos. I'm ashamed it hasn't been longer. I could have sworn I had subscribed earlier. Oh, Super Switch, don't worry about it. You know, it's okay. I don't do this for the money anyway. Well, it's like beer money. But I do it for fun. Do they have the leaf and spring pings? I would say yeah. These switches definitely you should lube anyway, because the spring is, if the spring is dry, it's always gonna have some sort of crunch to it. Especially the longer the spring, the more likely it is that it's going to have some crunch. Have you tried OP blacks? Not properly. Excuse me, only briefly, but not like long enough to like have a solid opinion about it. But people have been saying great things about OP Black, so I have no doubt that it's a good switch. Yeah. I'll try it on the gasket then. Yeah, could be worth trying. Especially because the gasket also, the gasket double is a relatively hollow case. There's a decent amount of space inside of the case, so it might help too. Who knows? I don't know. I might try the tape model for my 7V. Try it on a couple boards. Sometimes it barely does anything, others it does a ton. Sorry, I'm just catching up with chat. Ergo clears, you make yourself browns or browns. That is correct. Moyu blacks, I'm really liking those at the moment. Yet another tweak people that have discovered and are hyping up. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, Ergo Clears is just literally a Cherry MX Clear with a lighter spring. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah. Ideally, you want to lube your switches anyway. Just switch out the spring while it's already open. Yeah, either switch the spring or lube the spring. You know, I personally just lube the spring because if I want to try out that stock spring, I like oil the springs, you know, and then try it out like that. It's not a problem. All right, well, anyway, so that was for Salvin. Oh, speaking of Salvin, I do have more things from Salvin. Let me show you more things from Salvin. I wanted to show this because it is relevant to group buys right now, but I will take photos of them or something later on. But I got 2 of the Salvin keycaps currently on group buy. These are samples. And so, yeah, let me just show you what these look like. Ooh, oh, this is so sick. Wait, this is so cool. So this has a gradient Cerakote from, this is the GMK Pacific Novelty Keycap by Salvin. Wow, that looks gorgeous, actually. I love this. I really like this. It has like basically gradient of blues from a light blue to a darker blue, but this one is really good. This one's really nice. The lavender one was also really, really nice. But this one, like, I think the like silver, like etched part, like kind of really jumps out, and it looks really nice. And this one is the Higanbana GMK. Is it GMK? Higanbana collab keycap. Has a red splatter Cerakote and a laser etched flower. So yeah. Yep. Just wanted to show you guys these caps. Salvin asked me to show y'all, but yeah, just to show you. Yeah, pretty nice though. These are indeed cherry profile. Yeah, GMK. But yep, put them here. These Salvin boxes are also very nicely done. I really like these 3D printed boxes. Such a nifty way of packing keycaps. The left one's so sick. The Higanbana one is cool, yeah. I like both. Both are pretty cool. Have you built any of the aluminum brewless keyboards from Canon Keys? Yes, I've built quite a few. I've built the Obliterated, I've built the Wrecked, I've built the Brutal 60, I've built the Savage 65 a few times. Yeah, I built a few of those. Anyway, yeah, very cool Salvi keycaps. And then in the box, in the same box, there's another thing I can tease you guys, but I'll tease that at the end of the stream. Salvin just keeps upping his game, huh? Yeah, he really has been upping his game. Like, he's getting like new machines, he's expanding his work, he's doing a lot of keyboard stuff. Like, he's making so many keyboards, from like Salvation to working with Keycall to working with, like, you know, like he's basically just doing so much stuff that, like, yeah, I think it kind of forces someone to improve their ways of doing things too. So it's really nice to see. All right, let's open this guy up now. How do you find the Moyu blacks? I was surprised by how much I liked them the first time I tried them. I like the tactility of these. I really like the tactility of these. Long stem, it seems. Yeah, long stem pole tactiles. They're pretty nice. They're very snappy. And I think I would like keep them like relatively light on the spring weight, and they would feel pretty good. Favorite of the bunch? I think it depends on the layout. I think they're all pretty good boards. Sway. I would just pick it based on the layout. The brutalist stuff, the brutalist keyboards. Then he also opened Becoding. Oh yeah, Salva's doing a lot of stuff for sure. Yeah. The Thog GMK art novelty is pretty nifty too. Haven't seen that one. From just one CNC to 3, he's doing work out there. Yeah, the man's really expanding his work. Really can't wait to get my Salvation too. Oh, Salvation will be a very exciting keyboard for people to get. I personally am genuinely excited for people to get the Salvation. It's gonna lead to a lot of people start to experiment with their 60%. It also allows for third-party 60% PCBs and plates. I am very excited for people to get their Salvations when those like are finally done. Like, a lot of people ordered, so there's a lot of keyboards, but I am very, very excited about that one. Just I think it's going to change a lot of people's perspective on like tray mount, or like what you can do with like that sort of like system. It's very cool, very, very unique. Oh, Kupo. Accidentally clicked the host. Godzilla water. Okay, water indeed. Alright. Cheers. Alright. Alright, so here's the inside of this board. There's the brass weight peeking through, and a little additional badge. There's a daughter board over here. Let's plug these guys in. Oh, let's get this. Let's see. This is a piece of foam. Goes in like that. And then we need the daughter board cables. OP Blacks are on pre-order on Swag Keys, and L board is getting some in stock later in August. Very cool. I actually got my lightning silver because I like how much it looked in your stream. I think the silver, it looks fantastic. I mean, not gonna lie, all of the colors really looked good. Like the red and the blue were super vibrant colors. They look fantastic, right? On the Salvation. I mean, I don't know what the business gray is gonna look like, but it's gonna be very business like, I suppose. But I wouldn't doubt that people who order the business gray they're also gonna like it a lot, I think. But I mean, hopefully they'll have samples of the business gray soon. I don't think it's finalized just yet. Yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, let's put this first. Am I the only one who got red? Probably not. There's probably a lot of people who did get red too. Will you be getting the new Matrix TKL when it goes live? I am not going to get the new Matrix TKL. Hydration good for you? It is indeed good for me. Welcome, Red Hood. Welcome, welcome. 10 Peaches, good day to you. How are you doing today? Happy Friday for you. It's Friday then. Salvation brought me to your stream, Diego. Also, why I got that color. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm glad you. I'm glad you came because of it. Well, I guess I have Salvin and Wilbur to thank for that. Red is the way. Red is really good on Salvation too, though. Yeah. All right, let's see. Thoughts on the Midway 60? I think I will direct that opinion towards Sussboards and Mr. Kimchi Jody Boy, both of whom I believe have built the Midway 60. Unfortunately, just because I haven't really like seen too much of it aside from that, like I feel like it would be best for me to defer to them. Yeah. It's almost Friday. It is. Happy to have discovered a New York keyboard content creator. Yeah, yo, Eric. Yeah, I need to DM you to figure out a time. Hang out, grab a meal or something. This week just been kind of busy actually. What are the keycaps on the HKB? The keycaps on the HKB are the regular blanks are just stock keycaps from the HKB itself. The pastel-y sort of keycaps are made by McFlurry. He's an artisan keycap maker who makes Topre modifiers, custom Topre modifiers. The skulls are from Click Clack, an old artisan maker, and then the WSDs from Tokipi. Tokipi makes MX and Topre keycaps. Tokipi.com is TOKKIPEE. So do exclamation keyboard and the name is there. If you are trying to figure out how to spell it. Why is this like so tight? Okay. Alright, there we go. And then Key Collective made these more like peachy sort of colored keycaps. Oh yeah, right. This doesn't have a screw on this one, so I'll leave the screw right here so it doesn't get lost. Alright, there we go. Togepi, not Togepi, but yeah. Let's see. Wait, why not? Why am I not getting the Matrix TKL? Because I don't like it. I don't like how it looks. I don't like the aesthetic of it. That's why I'm not getting it. I think it looks a little too rounded for me. The design's a little too rounded for me. Overall, I just don't like the look of the Matrix ME TKL. That's all. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to trim these. Looks like the daughter board already has some electrical tape applied to the back, so I think it should be fine, but I'm gonna trim these pins anyway. Need to get one of those artisan step caps from Mitch. Those look so nice. Oh. Yeah. You're a busy man for sure, and saying you find time to stream this too? Well, streaming in the evenings is fine because it is my free time that I'm using to stream, right? Like, that's okay. Using my free time to stream is totally fine with me. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Salvation mounting system is such a cool concept. I hope we'll be able to play around with it more from other form factors as well. Oh, that'll be pretty cool. Have class, Diego. Catch you again another time. I'm only who I am. Sounds good. Have a good class. I'm gonna use some tape. What does the last daughter board do? So this daughter board is the LED daughter board, and this daughter board is the actual daughter board that holds the firmware. Yeah. So this daughter board actually has the firmware in it. So without this daughter board, you can't use the keyboard. Let's see. I actually really like the METK. I'm probably gonna get one. Sounds good. The Marvel Cinematic Universe of the PCB. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S has been fantastic. I actually haven't watched Kobayashi just yet. I'm catching up with other things too. I'm watching Villainous. I'm watching To Your Eternity. I'm watching Higurashi. I'm watching a lot of different shows right now. Let's just test the PCB before I screw it in. Okay. Oh, this is just FN, so that's fine. Wait. Okay, that's fine. Alright, cool. Oh, pipe. Okay, there. Alrighty, it works. Tulip already redeemed. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Yo, Lil Bonaparte, thank you so much for the 10 months, buddy. We could have had. I'm gonna correct your grammar. We could have had a baby in the amount of time I've been following you. How cute. How cute. I just spent every minute watching that anime, appreciating Kyoto animation. Yeah. Yeah. See, I wonder how doable it would be to design and 3D print a small part that one could glue onto the PCB somehow to keep the daughter board cables in place. I don't think it'll be hard at all, actually, Super Switch. The way I would do it, the 3D printed part, I would actually do it so that you don't have to use glue. And you know how you would do that? I would just grab a 3D printed part that clips onto the edge of the PCB, and you basically just tuck in the cable into like a rounded portion that's just like closed enough, kind of like it's like closed enough like this, so you just like put the cable through it and just like leave it like that, like an edge hook. Yeah, sort of like the way they do it for like cable routing, like in the house. Sometimes when you have to run things on the floor and things like that, like sometimes they use those like little hooks. Like just something like that I would do, so you don't have to use a piece of glue. Yeah, like a mini cable clip. Yeah, and that way you can actually use. Oh, PCBs are the same thickness the majority of the time, so you could use it with any PCB, right? Coder Bra, thank you so much for the hydrate. I'll hydrate. I married an English major so she could read all my important emails and papers in college. Come on. Just learn the English yourself. Time to sell the cable clips for $30. Too bad you can get them in it. Probably you could get them on Amazon for like, Diego has a bladder of a Viking. How do you not have to pee after all the water? It's because I drink a lot of water during the day. I'm used to drinking like 2 liters every day for water. Yeah, gotta stay healthy, man. Drinking water is much more beneficial than like eating three meals a day, probably. So yeah, I mean, I'm like used to drinking a lot of water during the day. Like I have a Brita filter like next to me all the time. I'm drinking water the whole time. H2O good. Yeah, H2O very good. Alright. Okay, fine. I'll go drink some water. Didn't mean to make you feel guilty. Alright, so we said CRP Tulip, right? Gam said so. So let's go get that. CRP Tulip. Hydrate or dihydrate? I'll be right back. Actually, why not? I'll go to the restroom really quick to wash my hands. I'll be RB, friends. I'm gonna go get CRP Tulip as well. Alright, I'm back. I pretty much only drink water at this point, about a gallon a day. Completely cut out soda. Whoa, that's actually so good for you. That's great to hear. We tell Diego to hydrate, but he never tells us to hydrate. Well, you should hydrate. You should hydrate because if you see me hydrate, it's like yawning, you know? If you see someone yawn, you know how like you want to yawn too? Well, if you see me hydrate, you should maybe feel like you should hydrate as well. Drink up, chat. Yeah. Turn up with water. Cheers. Diego is lying, it's actually soju. Imagine. Imagine. Oh, okay, let's put these on first. Is this coating? Can't really tell on mobile. Yeah, this is coated. This is the McFlurry coating. Here. Oh wait, I think I need to get the R5 kit. I don't think I have an R5 kit here. Go get that. This is regular McFlurry. It's not the Christmas edition. I personally don't like the Christmas edition even. I think the Christmas edition is kind of tacky. I don't really like it personally. Is the Christmas weight and normal weight interchangeable? I actually am not entirely sure. Where's the O again? I think the O was next to this here. By the way, what time is it in your country? It's 9:15 p.m. Good morning, Darren. Hello. Good morning. Hope you're well. I've noticed you've been streaming lately. How's that coming along? How are you feeling about streaming these days? The past few days, rather. In my country, it's 2:15. You must be in Europe. Or somewhere around there, maybe. I don't know. Wait, I'm literally in the other hemisphere and we're in the same time zone? Oh. I see. Loving it? Oh, that's good to hear. Hernt TV, hello. How are you? Beige keyboards, Pog. Terrence, thank you so much for the 8 months. OZ streams are so entertaining? That's good. That's good to hear. Alright, let me go get an R5 kit. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get an R5 kit really quick. Entertaining is not something I ever set out to be, but I guess the scuff does entertain. Well, I'm glad it's working out for you. It's a relief. Shall we pick out some artisans to put on this? Ugh. Let's pick out some artisans. Does R5 really make a difference? Well, it makes an aesthetic difference. If you wanna take a look. That's what... Oh well. Imagine there's an R1 key, but... Yeah. Let's see. What should we put on this? Oopsie. Any beige and blue avail? Let me see. I'll pick some things. The Popsy looks well with this. Tulip, huh? I like these two. I think this could go well on Escape. Little shoe. I like this. Have you ever had an artisan break or have damage? Yeah, I have had like the stem break before, but some are repairable, some are not. So it kind of depends on the scenario. Sometimes I've sent keycaps to have had the stem replaced or to have it repaired. So that has happened before as well. See, that's on, I think. Okay. How do I turn on the other LED? Is it this one? Wait, no. Oh, it doesn't have the diffuser on the inside part, but that's unfortunate. But that's fine. Have you seen an angry customer come to you? No, not quite. No. I mean, I've had customers who have asked me about like if I could redo something for them or help them out with something new, but I don't think I've had an angry customer like after the build. Yeah. All right, let's turn that off. It's a little loud. Do you have artisans that you have purposefully never mounted? No, I get artisans to mount. I get artisans to use, so I almost never... I pretty much mount my artisans as soon as I get them too, because I want to test them. So no, I would say the answer to that is no. I pretty much mount every single of my caps. Every single cap that I have, I mount. Yeah. Or half mounted, I would say. That was real when that happened on stream? Yo, yeah, it did happen on stream before. All right. All right. So this is our board here today. see. Should we use a random theme? Nope. Nope. Too bright. Oh, okay, this is fine. Alright. Let's give this a shot, friends. Okay. Does this keyboard have an RGB backlight? It has RGB here, but no, otherwise it doesn't have any backlight. Hold up, it's not focused to the keyboard. There we go. There we go. Alright, so here is a Matrix 8XV 2.0 additional with Moyu blacks that have been looped and filmed on a mounted on a carbon fiber plate. We have yes to plate PCB foam and yes to case foam. And yeah, let's try this out. Here we go. While that car passes by, let's just go ahead. Kind of making a lot of mistakes too, but let's try this again. I am gonna do it without my earphones on because it's a little distracting. All right, these switches are also pretty tactile, pretty snappy, so kind of throwing me off a little, I think, with the long pull. Ooh, it sounds pretty nice though. It sounds crisp, definitely. It sounds very nice and crisp. I actually really like it, even though there's like the foam in there and stuff. The spacebar sounds really nice. But anyway, here are the modifier keys for you. I mean, or just the keys in general to hear. Okay, buddy. I get it. Yeah, the spacebar sounds good. The backspace is really nice. Yeah, I like the modifier keys a lot on this one today. Yeah. Sounds like Ice Cube raining. Is that Top Artisan a shoe? Yeah, it is. It's a Jelly Key sneaker shoe thingy. Artisan. But the case finish is McFlurry. It's called McFlurry finish, I think it's what they call it. Let me go back and see. Crisp. Yeah, I do agree. It's pretty crisp. Do you think the playful makes a significant difference in the spacebar sound? 2.0 ADD spacebars have always been met to me. I would say that so I've built a couple of 2.0 ADDs now. Some people do say that the foam does make a difference for them. I personally don't tend to use foam, so I'm kind of okay with the sound without it. I do think it kind of sounds like it can sound a little bit hollow on like the modifier keys when you don't have anything in there. So if you're having issues with that, you could try. And then again, it also depends on whether you're using like tactiles or linears. I would say that tactiles kind of mask that a little bit more easily, but linears maybe you notice like a thunk and it's not like a nice sound for it. So maybe filling the material, filling the case with a bit of material could help. Maybe not too much, but yeah. But the dampener here are, the dampeners in this case are actually working well. Yeah. Moyu blacks are definitely loud, like. Right? Like these are loud switches. People hate on CRP space, but I don't mind that at all. I like CRP's sound. I actually like it. I think I might like it better than GMK personally. Yeah. Why didn't you go with red cherry? What do you mean red cherry? Oh, you mean like switches? Because these are the switches that the client wanted to use. GM guitar would look great on this. Nah. This looks. Oh, I see. Tulip is a little too austere here. IMO. Yeah, I think it could be fun to use a different, like, more colorful set. That's for sure. Yeah, don't disagree with that, I guess. McFlurry, yeah. So the finish, the coating finish here, they call it McFlurry. Like the people who made the keyboard, they call it McFlurry. They call it like the McFlurry finish. All right, so here's the close up. Here's what the board looks like. Pretty nice. I still vote Shoko. Shoko could look interesting, yeah. R5. Look at that profile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So nice. So good. So good. Like this is why R5 is just so nice. It's not about the feel, it's not about it's just that full sculpted look of the keycap from the side. Whew. So good. That's the front. And the sneaker shoe is so such a funny cap. Here's the back. Powered by Matrix Lab in 2020. Since 2015. And the colors of the back are so nice. Imagine if the spacebars also are 5 height. Well, spacebars are just spacebars, right? So I think the spacebars are fine the way they are. I don't think they need to be taller. Actually, I would not like them to be taller. If the spacebars were taller, you would end up with like SA spacebars where you have this hollow sound to them. So yeah. Let's see. Can't wait for Muted Art 2 as well. Yeah. Does the carbon fiber plates feel stiffer than alu plate on 2.0? Yeah, I would say that carbon fiber might feel slightly. It's kind of similar to alu. I think I would say that maybe it's a little stiffer than alu, but I'm not like. They're pretty close. They're pretty close. Like I don't think carbon fiber is that like soft. It's not a soft material. Yeah. How much does this build cost you? I think how much do these guys go in the aftermarket? Like $800? I think retail it might have still been like 600 at least, or 700 even. I don't even know. 1K. There you have it. For some, yeah. For some cases, I think they go for like 900, 1K. But yeah, this is a TKL indeed. Just discovered New York City MK Discord and see your mod on it. Yeah, been in New York City community for a bit. This is very expensive. Yeah, it is expensive. It is not a trivial amount of money. It is a very expensive. I mean, it is just a lot of money for a keyboard, but some people find it worthwhile to purchase keyboards like this, so they do. And that doesn't even include the keycaps or the switches or the stabilizers. But yeah, this bottom is pretty nut. I love the contrast of this, like so dark navy with the brass peeking out with this gray stone-like finish and this McFlurry coating. A+. It looks so good. Why? Like, fuck off. like no one cares. No one in this neighborhood cares. The people who live in this building are like older people too. It's like no one gives a shit. I don't get it. Big PP. Yeah, I think they're just compensating for PP-ness. But you know. Sounds like a VTech, bro. It is all worth it? I mean, I would definitely hope that it is worth it for the person who owns this keyboard, which is not me. I don't own this board. Someone else does. They sent it to me to build. Raider Noise, thank you so much for the resub. Hello. Also, 3 months. You can do exclamation sticker and get a. Oh, wait, oops. I realized it's not plugged in. You can do exclamation sticker and get a sticker requested if you want, international included. That's if you have been subbed for 3 months or longer. How often do you have to redo your YouTube typing test because of New York ASMR? So there was a time I would do my typing test like at 2 or 3 a.m. or whatever, right? Just so that I could record it in complete silence, right? There was a point at which I stopped caring, and so sometimes in the middle of the test, car passes by, vroom, and I'm like, or like person walks by yelling something in Spanish, right? I'm like, whatever. People gotta hear it. People gotta know that I live in a place where it's entirely possible, and so these are like cameos into the typing test. You suddenly like hearing like clicky clack, clicky clack, clicky clack, click clack, and then it's like, oye, güey, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? And like with people outside be like, oye, güey, ¿qué tal? Weón. It's like, yeah. Or like, just like car passes by and stuff. Are you close to the ground? Yeah, I'm on the first floor. Yeah, I'm on the first floor, so that's why. So yeah, you know, some people just, it's part of the experience. We can call it like Lightning Keyboards feat New York City. You know, featuring New York City sounds. Yeah. Gotta move to the top floor? I don't think it makes a difference. Sound still travels pretty far, so you would still be able to hear it. But why? Be like, cállate, hijo de puta. Excuse me. Didn't say anything bad. Híjole, oof. That's how you know the typing test is real. Yeah, I know. Lightning cures feet. Please. Totally didn't understand that. No. You don't understand that. Excuse. I don't. Yo no hablar español, okay? No hablo español poquito, señorita, de la biblioteca. Yeah, let's go. But first, let me take a selfie. Ink's worth the cost? I like inks. I do like inks. I demand feet pics with this board, cemented in history. Dude. Un cerveza, por favor. Tienes que decirle ñ mal para que te crean. That's right. I totally don't speak Spanish. Yeah, I don't speak Spanish at all. My name is Diego just for fun. Yeah, it's just, you know, moved to the US and I was like, oh yeah, my name's gonna be Diego. Poquito. What's better, a full size or a TKL or a 60% keyboard? The layout choice depends on what you're most comfortable with. I think you should just go with whatever you're most comfortable with. Some people love 60% because it's smaller, more room for your desk, like more desk space that you get back, and you can still do everything that you can do. Like even your arrow keys, you can program them on a function layer. You can program them anywhere you want. PCBs are programmable, so you can program keyboards to type whatever key you want anywhere. So doesn't matter what layout you use, whichever is the most comfortable for you. Your parents watched Dora the Explorer before you were born? That's where Diego came from? Anyway. No problem. So, well, that's all that I have. Again, if you want to compare this. This is Tulip. And these are Moyu blacks. Gotta lube those domes. Oh, gotta lube the PCB, am I right? Gotta lube the PCB. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Gotta slather some of that 205 on there. Yikes. Any SKCM Brown avail? Not anymore. I used to have like a few hundred SKCM Browns until I decided that I stopped liking them as much. So I actually traded some of my SKCM Browns for some Nixies, and then I sold the rest, I think. Yeah. I sold the rest. Where the Nixies at? They're in my other board over there. And then you regret to get Nixies? No, they sound pretty nice. I can show you. Thinking it's TGR? No, that's not the TGR. It's on this board over here. OP Blacks are made to sound like Nixies. They're made to look like Nixies, yeah. I'm not sure if they do sound like Nixies though. Oh yeah, this has Nixies. Can you go 0 decibels? Probably not. Yeah, I mean, if you want me to show you the actual... I'm not sure if OP Blacks compare the exact same as Nixies. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's... Like, I'm not sure if that's, like, exactly true. Is McFlurry the same as Coating Gray? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Is this focusing at all? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, that's a Nixie white, black Nixies over there. Is there a minus 10 decibels keyboard? As in, like, are there silent keyboards? Yes, you can use silent switches for them. Yep, yep. Nixie white, yep. You want to see where I put my other Nixie white into? I put it into the best keypad ever. Of course. What's on the spacebar? That's called a Nixdorf white. It's a white stem basically. Nixie whites are a thing. Yeah, it's similar to MX gray, MX linear grays, like on MX black keyboards. You know how they come with an MX gray switch? It's the same thing. The white is basically the MX gray version of Nixie boards, like Nixdorf, Siemens Nixdorf boards. But yeah, here's the other Nixie switch. Oops. Here's the other one. I put some foam in there because it sounded like shit, but yeah. True culture right here. Have you guys seen my long typing test that I did when I built the ISO? It was like 3 minutes of typing on the ISO. Like that. It was very tiring, but it's somewhere out there. It's on one of my streams, I think. That doesn't sound half bad. Yeah, that's because I added a little bit of the shelf liner. Otherwise, it sounds a little kind of pingy. Imagine not using a pro world. Clearly, your eyes is not that pro. No, I'm an amateur, just a noob. Much akin to the creator of this pad, or the person who conceived it. Yeah. All right. Well, that's where the Nixies are. Black Salmon going to rage when he finds out you added phone to his baby. Well, that's fine. I don't care if he gets mad. He gets mad over every single little, like, random shit. So, it's fine. Simone will end friendship once he hears about the phone. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. He can end friendship. That's cool. Imagine caring. Imagine caring. That's cool. He can end it. Let's end it. Simon! Let's end it. End our friendship. Do we even have one? But let's end it right here. Still have Ron, who cares? Can you play the Among Us drip with your keyboard? I guess. Yes? You could do anything with your keyboard. If he gets mad at you, throw a K at him. Oh, true. Getting so mad he chucks his ISO into an expensive client port. Yeah. Anyway, that's what we have for tonight. I'm gonna... Let's see. JD will catch. Will you? I don't know if you will. Let's see. We have Tiny is streaming. She's doing a Bakeneko build. Oh, Ozzy, long exposure photography experiment. Ozzy is streaming some photography stuff. Jordan 64 TV is streaming. He's playing Black Desert Online. Let's see. We could raid Mr. Oz, who just kind of started streaming earlier. We haven't raided him ever, so might as well, right? And he always stops by to say hi, and I think, you know, I owe it to him. But yeah, that's all we have for tonight. Thanks again, everybody, for coming by. And let's go raid Mr. Ozzy Obsessions. All right. Yeah. This was a great build. I very much like this board. The 2.0 ADD is definitely one of the nicer TKLs out there, and I think it sounds and feels and looks great. Standard top mount for sure, but it's a very nice board nonetheless. The variety of finishes out there makes it pretty appealing sometimes. Kind of different strokes for different folks. I stayed through the entire stream. Dang indeed. Descansa Diego. Muchas gracias, Nacho. Thank you so much. Top mount is top. Top mount is great. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming by. I will have a Mesa TKL build coming up, and then I do have a few keyboard prototypes to build sooner than later. But probably see you guys on. I'll see about those later, and I'll announce those details as well. But yeah, let's go raid Mr. Ozzy. I don't have any particular message, so let's just go and hang out. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good weekend. Stay cool out there and stay safe. All right. Take it easy, everyone.